Hi everyone. Okay, so today I'm going to show you us potting up our tulips right now. I got about 250 because I wanted to fill a whole planter bed like one of these. I thought they would be done blooming. Those are the snapdragons, and then I would fill the whole thing with tulips. That doesn't seem to be the fact. They're still trying to bloom. I have one or two coming up, but I do have a terracotta pot here that I want to try to put some I think it was daffodils and then also tulips as well. Okay, and just in a matter of, I guess, lifting the weight and time, I'm going to do it right here in the yard where I currently have this pot. Just has some soil in it right now, nothing else. I have the potting mix we're going to be using. These are the tulips, so 50 in this bag, and then we have the daffodils in this one. I think this is also 50. They're a bit bigger, that's why the bag is bigger. And then some soil, so I can take out the existing soil that's already in there and replace it with some of this. So the tulips that I got are they are mixed triumph tulips. So I'm gonna plant them 4 to 6 inches, that's space. I'm gonna plant them tighter just because of the area here. I want it to be a full voluminous look when they all bloom. But the depth is going to be 6 to 8 inches. So I did measure this with my trusty measuring tape here. It's pretty deep, so I'm gonna measure it again real quick. Let's see. Okay, so it's already about a foot, so 12 inches. So I'll be able to plant the appropriate depth, and also the daffodils below. These are called mixed narcissus. They're naturalizing, but since I'm in a zone 9B, I doubt that it's going to naturalize. That's why I chose the potting method. If you're in an area where these can naturalize, you're well able to put it into your garden space, and then it will come back year to year. So these will be a depth of 6 to 8 inches as well. I'm going to plant them just a bit lower, so it'll go a layer of daffodils and then the tulips on top. All right, time to get our hands dirty. Let's get started. I am super excited for this because I always enjoy getting tulips at the Publix or Trader Joe's, wherever you go to get a bouquet, but I've never actually grown tulips myself. I have read every now and then on the just some articles and some research. It is difficult to do it here in zone 9, and also some providers don't recommend it, but I'm gonna try it anyways just because of the excess water I think we have here and the not cold period. But these have been in the fridge for 10 weeks now, and I'm going to start with a few, and then since I have 200 plus, I'm going to put some elsewhere every other week so those can continue getting cold stratified. In here didn't fill it up all the way. I did leave a little lip, that's just so water can get caught when it needs to get watered, but for the most part it gets full sun here. I am going to try to move it to the side of our house where I'm going to put the rest of our planter beds and just make that more of our garden space. This container, I think it's ceramic terracotta. Inside I imagine it's terracotta, and then outside maybe with some cover. But I'm going to use this because it's quite large, and I do have a bunch of tulips and daffodils that I want to plant. So I'm going to try here in a larger pot, and then I have a smaller terracotta pot as well. And somewhere throughout the yard I want to plant them in the soil as well. So today let's get started on seeing how many we can fit in this one. So I'm just going to use regular potting mix. When I was doing some research, I saw that it needed more sandy soil. So I can maybe grab some yard soil and mix it in here, and that'll be another experiment because the other pot that I'm going to do is going to be straight garden soil. So let's get started. Okay. we're gonna do the daffodils first, just because they need to be a little bit deeper than the tulips, or maybe the same depth, but I want it to be like a double layered pot. So some of these kind of rotted in our fridge, maybe some water, like the ice dissipated and then got hot again. So look out for these. If you can, maybe wipe it off. We're gonna see if they still work, but if they're mushy, they're not hard anymore, then they're pretty much done. Don't even try, don't even waste space in your pot when that happens. So now we'll just fill it up about 2 inches, and then we're gonna add the tulips on top of that. So it looks like that fit all of the tulips that we had left in that bag, and now I'm just going to fill it up to the very top. I'm going to incorporate some sand just to see if that works as well, just to see what kind of potting mixture I can get to have these tulips actually bloom. So I won't find out till they bloom, so that's another, I think it was like 6 weeks after planting that they can actually start showing some growth, some leaves, and then stalks coming up. So let's get potting the rest of this up. So we got, I didn't count how many, I think it was at least 20 or so in there of both the daffodils and the tulips. What I have seen other people do when they do large container pots like this is add a quick annual on top, which are these violas. I kind of think that's played out. A lot of people do it too often. We just have here these in our back patio, that's why I have one here to show you. But it would be a nice something to look at while you're waiting for the tulips and the daffodils to actually bloom. But I want to try sweet alyssum. Those are very simple to grow here in Florida 9B, basically January to December. Sprinkle them on, keep them watered, and you'll start seeing them grow. I think it's a 60-day to bloom sort of plant, so I'm going to sprinkle that on top of these and on top of the other terracotta pot that we did as well. And hopefully I get some of those to bloom either simultaneously or right before the tulips and the daffodils start to come up, which I think would be really nice. Okay everyone, thank you again for watching. I am going to start scouting out where either in our backyard or in our front yard I can place these directly into the soil. I'm like running out of breath. So here in Florida 9B, we don't have a lot of opportunity to plant tulips into the ground, just because once they bloom for that time period, once it comes to our winters, we don't get the cold that it needs. It needs about 3 months or 12 weeks of cold stratification. So since I can't do it here in the environment, that's why I place these into our fridge, like a mini fridge, just for bulbs or drinks or ice. Don't put any fruit in it, because that does cause some sort of chemical imbalance with the bulbs and will make them not bloom. So thank you everyone for watching, and we'll come back in another month or so and see if these actually start to bloom for us here in Florida 9B. Thanks for visiting my first garden.